Hi everybody, Paul Cameron here from SpeedUpMyJobSearch.com with some job search tactics and motivation for today. And this is a continuation of my last video about the fastest way to land a management job. So if you haven't seen that one yet, it's okay. You can still watch this video and it'll still be helpful for you. But I would recommend you check that one out too, because both of these tactics used together will help you to land a management job faster. And if this video is helpful for you, I would encourage you to please click that like button so more people in your network can find it. And I really appreciate your help with that. So if you're looking for a leadership position or a management level job, there are two main ingredients that you need. The first one we talked about in the last video, which helped you to get in the door to get an interview. Well, now that you have an interview, you have to be able to show them that you are the person that they should hire, right? And here's the challenge that managers face that really is unique to managers. Individual contributors don't really have this issue. And that is that you not only have to prove to them that you have the skills needed to do the job, but you also have to establish enough trust and competency that they're going to be willing to hand you the keys to a department of the most valuable asset that the company has. It's employees. Right? If they're going to let you take charge of a department of their people, they need to feel really good about you as a skilled leader, and so that they know that their people are in good hands. And oh, by the way, you have about an hour to get all that across. Good luck. Right? I know that can seem like a pretty daunting task, but if you go into the meeting knowing that those are your two primary objectives of conveying that you have the skills to do the job and then building trust, then it becomes a whole lot easier to accomplish the task at hand. I mean, when I interview people for management level jobs, I usually hear a lot about, the projects that they've worked on and the sizes and the budgets and the challenges. And don't get me wrong, that's all really important, but think about that. When you hire somebody as a manager, what's the primary reason that you hire the people that you do, right? Especially for the most important jobs that you have. It's a gut feeling about that person, isn't it? Right? They just feel like the right person for that job. I mean, they need the basic skill set required for the job, of course, but you need to get the feeling that this is the type of person that your team would respond to, and that this is a person who can get their people to buy into the objectives of that department and how the company wants things done. I mean, you can teach skills, but you can't teach someone to be the type of leader that your team will follow. Right? There was a study published recently by Robert Half International, it's a very large staffing company, where they stated that of all the executives they surveyed, 46% of them said that they made their hiring decisions based on instinct. 49% of them followed their gut at least some of the time. Those are huge percentages. So if you make your hiring decisions that way, don't worry, you're not alone. About half of the people you meet with who are interviewing you hire the exact same way. And believe it or not, this is actually very good news, because you have the ability to directly impact how they perceive you as a person by the way that you answer their questions and the way you conduct the conversation throughout the interview. I mean, while I don't have enough time here to get into all the specifics in this short video, I want to give you at least two very important concepts to keep in mind as you're preparing for your next management level interview. Number one is, whatever you shine your spotlight on is what people are going to look at. And number two is that everyone's favorite subject is always themselves, right? I mean, think about that. You look at a group picture, whose face do you look for first? Yours, right? They say that the sweetest sound to anyone's ear is the sound of their own name. People love to talk about themselves and their accomplishments. So with that in mind, if you spend the entire interview talking about your own skill set and the number of people you've led and the budgets you've had, what are they going to look at? Your skills, and only your skills, because that's what you're shining your spotlight on. And you know what they're going to do with that information? They're going to compare it directly to the laundry list of skills that they wrote down on the requirements list for that job. And of course, managers are required to know every single skill of every person working under them, right? I mean, it sure seems that way with how a lot of these interviews go. So if you force them down that path of just making a skills match, that's not going to be an enjoyable conversation for either side. And your percentage chance of getting that job are really not good, right? So how do you make them focus less on the exact skills match and to actually enjoy the conversation with you more? Well, that's where concept number two comes in, Remember, everyone's favorite subject is always themselves. So involve them in the questions that they're asking you. Turn your answers into discussions rather than just leaving this as a question, answer, interrogation kind of a feel. Does that make sense? So when they ask you, for example, how large of a team you've led, instead of just saying, well, about 7 people, period, right? Instead, make this a conversation and get them involved. Like, well, in my last position, I led a team of about 7 people. It was 5 people that were in the office and 2 of them were working remotely, which was really interesting because you have to use 2 totally different communication styles to accomplish some of the same tasks. Have you had that experience? Which brings them into the conversation about their experience and how they've led teams. And then you're talking instead of interviewing. And that person who is interviewing you is going to be enjoying the conversation thoroughly because you've given them a chance to talk about themselves. That's how you build rapport in a very short period of time. And rapport is what impacts the gut feeling they have about you over all the other candidates. Give this a try. I think you're going to be shocked at how well this works. And if today's video was helpful for you, please click that like button for me. That's going to be a huge help in getting this information out in front of more people. Again, I really appreciate your help with that. Again, I'm Paul Cameron. I'm from SpeedUpMyJobSearch.com. If you would be interested in getting some personal coaching from me to land a leadership position, please check out SpeedUpMyJobSearch.com/leaders. And if you see a red button that says Hire the Coach on that page, that means I've still got a slot open. If you don't see the button, just please keep checking back because as soon as I help someone land, I'm going to open up another slot and I'm going to put that button right back up there. So grab it while it's there. Just remember, landing a great management level job is just like any task or project that you've managed before. First thing, you need to find out what your objectives are, figure those out, then make a plan to meet them and execute. All right? You can do this. Now, it's time to get to work.